We are Steve and Jill. Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Jack and Jill here.
hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Buscella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today's Jack Thursday, and I'm going to talk about how there's only 6 ways to get rich.
This is going to be good. I'm
way?
really curious.
Which way do you choose? Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. And don't forget to subscribe on the Land Academy YouTube channel and comment on the shows you liked.
Matt wrote, "Hi all, I'm working on pricing a zip code that varies greatly in prices. A section of area that I pulled in the zip code is close to a downtown, and the other half of the zip code is in a more rural area. How do you price an area like this? If I do it just by the zip code, the addresses close to the downtown area are underpriced, and the addresses further out are overpriced."
Matt, this is brilliant. If you are in Land Academy and you're doing the dishes right now and listening to this, or you're driving in a car and thinking about something else, now's the time to stop doing that. Now's the time to really listen to this one point I have to make very briefly. If you're not in Land Academy,
Or in a safe place that you could pull over.
you're not in Land Academy. This is why there are many people in Land Academy who are successful. It's for stuff like this. What he's describing is, picture a zip code. There's a big city in the zip code. There's maybe a couple of small towns, maybe one small town in the zip code, and all kinds of real estate surrounding it. Very different price. One zip code, different priced land all over the place. This is the norm. This is not an exception. It's always like this. There might be a not so big city. There's always going to be strangely priced scenarios in one zip code. This is why you cannot use a pricing tool that's automatic. You cannot say to Concierge Data, let's say, which is our company where we do your mailers, thanks for doing all this and it looks great. We're going to price it at 20% of retail and let me know when it goes out. Huge, sometimes fatal error. There are multiple places in zip codes that have different pricing. So how do you do that? How do you deal with it? You get your mailer back, or you create the mailer yourself, or you get it back from Concierge Data, and you test for reason over and over and over again. And you sort for, just like I teach in
Land Academy.
In Land Academy, you sort for by APN. And you look at test for reason, all of those prices to see, not all of them, but if you got a 2,000 unit mailer size and it's one zip code, then test for every APN scenario, test 20 of them. And you're going to decide ultimately that 20% is appropriate for this area in the zip code, 18% is appropriate for this area, 32% is appropriate for this area. And these are all really large parcels that are way out of town. Maybe 8% is appropriate for that. And are those numbers hard numbers? Oh, Jack said 8% if it's out of town. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, it has to make sense so that if the property comes back and it's signed, you want to do the deal.
Buy it?
It's not overpriced or underpriced.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you for asking that question.
That's a good question. Today's topic?
Today's topic's Jack's Thursday. There's only 6 ways to get rich. This is why you're listening.
Okay, I'm gonna be I'm a little bit of a guest here too. I can't wait to hear the list. I'm not looking.
This is an article that I read that stuck with me a while ago from a capital group, a private equity group that wrote this for some reason, and I agree with it. Number 1, marry money. And that doesn't mean...
Well, that was Jill.
That doesn't mean...
Jill is 0 for 1.
That doesn't mean... I don't, and we don't need to put gender in this.
I'm going to keep track here. I'm going to see which.
0 for 1?
0 for 1. So 5, 6, okay, 0 there on that one.
That doesn't mean, don't let your mind wander on this. This could be some great guy who marries an heiress.
Well,
maybe he's the third guy who marries Jackie Onassis.
Well, thank you for saying that. Thank you for not always assuming it's a woman, which is really funny because I just read an article like a week ago about like the Forbes top 10 wealthiest women. Like, I don't even think it was a Forbes article. I don't remember who it was, but it was like in the world. And every woman had over $10 billion. And they're, and the top, over half of them, they were widowed or divorced, and that's how they got their wealth. Thought that.
Number 2, inherit money.
Now I'm 0 for 2. None of that coming my way.
Top 6 ways to get rich.
Yeah, I sure hope I got. I'm seriously not looking at the list. I hope there's one of them that I got.
Number 3.
I'm pretty sure there's one. Yeah.
Get exceedingly lucky, which is a pretty way of saying win the lottery.
Oh, yeah. 0 for 3.
Or go to the casino and realize your dreams.
I'm 0 for 3. Keep
Number
going.
4, exploit a unique talent. That gets you thinking.
Oh.
Like
selling.
Like that could be selling is a good one. Or, like Houdini.
Ding, ding.
Amazing talent.
I'm going to see here.
He got rich on it.
Oh, okay. So it's a maybe for me. I don't know. It's a question mark.
It's definitely involved for all of us.
Okay, got it.
You have to have some type of talent, and maybe your talent is recruiting amazing people to surround yourself with, so you get wealthy.
I like that the Houdini one.
We're getting closer to reality here.
Okay, got
for
it.
most of us.
All right.
Number 5, either own or lead a successful business.
Ding, ding, ding. I got one solid one. I was wondering where I was going to be on this list. All right.
That's for everybody here. This is a very likely and possible scenario.
I'm 1.5 out of 5 because I only gave myself a half a point on number 4.
I think this is the last one, right?
Okay, what's number 6?
Number 6 is spend less than you make and invest it wisely over a long period of time.
Oh, we kind of do that.
I hate this idea.
It didn't start out that way, but
I hate it.
Wait. I do part of it. I get a half point. Spend less than you make. That's for sure. We do that.
This is the whole premise behind The Millionaire Next Door. There's 2 people who, let's say back in the day, this is not necessarily, it doesn't apply if you're 22 years old now, but back in the day, 2 people buy a house. My parents bought a house for $13,000, literally. Both of them went to college. They worked jobs that paid for that college education. And everybody's nodding their head like Jill is now. Around whoever's listening to this they're nodding their head saying, yep, they did that. And nope, I'm not doing that. That's why you're listening to this show.
Exactly.
And so at the end, especially if you live in Southern California where there's an amazing housing value increases, you buy a cheap house, you would live there for 30, 40, 50 years, raise a couple of kids, put them through school, work the same jobs or different jobs in an industry. And when you're all done with it, you maybe put some money in the stock market, or whatever you decided to do, bought an extra house and rented it out. It's a very typical scenario. And you end up going into retirement age with a few $1 million. And a big hole in your heart for what would have been, in my case.
A hole in your heart?
Like, what did we do here?
Oh.
Edith.
Oh.
What did we do? How did we end up looking like this? My whole life went by.
Edith and Archie were rich?
No,
oh,
just
they weren't rich.
I don't know. The woman's name's Edith.
Oh, okay.
Ethel. I don't know.
You say that name, that's right where I go. I just dated myself again this
is
week.
not appropriate for most of our personality types. And you know what? I'm not sure you can do that anymore. I don't think, going to college costs $100,000 now. And so you've got student loans on that. Buying a house, houses are overvalued as compared to income. It was the variance between income and housing prices back then. You could pull that kind of stuff off, and you still can if you're really, really smart about it. But being smart about making decisions like what we talk about on the show all the time, is not conducive to this number 6. Number 6 is you kind of let life happen to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was supposed to go to college. I went. Yeah, I was supposed to get a job over there, and I got one. And
do you know what's sad about number 6?
It's sad.
Well, yeah, you missed out on a lot. So I'm really not even taking a half point for 6, because Lord knows I didn't suffer in life. I didn't
suffer enough.
No, I know. Well, there were times I did suffer in life. That's true, for 17 years, which we talked about the other day. But so I'm going. Thank goodness we got number 5. You know, and that's Land Academy. That's our community. You know, that's the thing about what we do is it's your business. Land Academy is us showing you everything that we do. And everything that we did to start and run and grow our business, so you can start and run and grow your own business and be a successful, entrepreneur and investor like we are. That's it.
The point here is do something, because the chances are you're not going to marry money, inherit money, and you probably don't have any unique talents like me. You're not going to get exceedingly lucky, and I'm not going to sit around and do nothing. Yeah. So, and just go to a job for 25, 35 years and thank my lucky stars. I'm just not going to do that.
I'm going to argue that there could be a 7th. I'm going to leave it on this for me. I think there could be a 7. You know what 7 is? Work your blank off until you get there. That's not in there.
I mean, but give me an example of that, because I don't see real hard work paying off.
Go-getters?
Unless you're doing it for yourself.
That's what I mean.
If you're going
to
be an amazing go-getter at General Motors.
I guess that goes with number 5.
Yeah.
So like working really hard and pounding the pavement and all that stuff ties into owning and leading your own successful business. So that does make sense. Thank you. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week. You can find us here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow is Jill Friday. She's going to talk about how to motivate title agents through the holidays. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Yes, it's that time of year. We all want to take a vacation. And guess what? Deals need to get done. So that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. I have a lot of good tips and things for you to make sure they get done. Or maybe they don't want to get done. We'll talk about that too. Maybe you want to drag your feet and have it happen in January.
Yep.
Might be doing that too. Thanks for tuning in. As we mentioned before, we hope you find our content valuable, and we do appreciate your support. So if you haven't already, please check out our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. And don't forget, if depending on when you're listening to this, I either am about to be live or I was live Thursday, December 15th, 5 o'clock Pacific time. Go to YouTube, go to Facebook, and check it out.
We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.